The following morning, at Peaceful Medical Center, Dustin got up early, washed up, and started preparing breakfast. As usual, it was his signature dish, deviled eggs. It was simple but smelled amazing. He'd just brought the food to the dining table when someone walked in. "Wow, that smells great." It was Dahlia. Today, she wore a smart suit and heels. Her hair was in a ponytail, revealing her fair and slender neck. She looked happy to see the food. "Are those deviled eggs? How did you know I hadn't had breakfast yet, Dustin? Since you prepared this for me, I won't stand on ceremony." She sat down and started to dig in. "This isn't." Dustin was about to say something when his bedroom door swung open to reveal a gorgeous woman standing there. "Darling, I'm starving. Is breakfast ready yet?" It was Natasha. She had on an oversized shirt. As she stretched, it dipped to reveal her cleavage. She and Dahlia met each other's gaze. They were both equally stunned. "What are you doing here?" they asked simultaneously. The air crackled with electricity, and the tension was so thick one could slice it with a knife. "Dustin, what's going on here?" Dahlia looked hostile. She could tell that Natasha was wearing Dustin's shirt. That, coupled with the fact that Natasha was coming out of Dustin's room, was more than enough for even a fool to tell that something was afoot. "Don't get the wrong idea. It's not what you think." Dustin wanted to explain, but Natasha cut him off. "Darling, since she's caught us red-handed, we might as well come clean. There's nothing to hide, anyway." "So, you slept with her?" Dahlia bit her lip, looking jealous. She'd always thought Dustin could keep it in his pants. She was obviously wrong. Why bother asking when it's obvious? Natasha tugged the shirt lower to reveal more of her cleavage. Nothing of the sort happened. Dustin felt a headache coming on. "Ms. Harmon was injured yesterday, so I brought her back here to treat her. Nothing else happened." Dahlia took a closer look at Natasha and noticed the wounds on her body. Even so, she couldn't keep the jealousy from her tone as she said, "Why didn't she go to a hospital if she was injured? Why come here? I can go wherever I want. It's up to me." Natasha smirked. "Correct me if I'm wrong, but you two are divorced, right? If so, it's none of your business even if anything were to happen between me and Dustin." "So what if we're divorced? We can always remarry." Dahlia glared at her, refusing to back down. "Do you think marriage and divorce is a game? What do you take Dustin for?" Natasha's smile faded. "Ms. Nicholson, one shouldn't be too greedy. Since you're the one who chose to give up, you should bear the consequences accordingly. Everyone makes mistakes. It's fine as long as they realize where they went wrong and correct them. I made a mistake in the past, but now, I'll do whatever I can to make it up to him." Dahlia glanced at Dustin as she spoke, seemingly hinting at something. "Since you refuse to give up, let's see who's better at this." Natasha shrugged and sat at the dining table. She pulled the deviled eggs to her and said with a smile, "Thank you for breakfast, darling. You're so considerate." "That's where you're wrong. These eggs are mine." Dahlia pulled the eggs back. "It's been 3 years, but I've yet to fall out of love with Dustin's cooking. Besides, he knows I love deviled eggs." "Ms. Nicholson, stop thinking so highly of yourself. What's in the past is just that, the past. These eggs belong to me now." Natasha didn't back down. She dragged the eggs to herself again. "Ms. Harmon, robbing someone of something they love isn't the best habit to have. These eggs have been cooked to my taste, they only suit me. What makes you think I don't like deviled eggs? I love anything Dustin cooks." "Humph! Just because you like them doesn't mean they suit you. It's up to me to decide whether they're suitable." The conversation between the two women became increasingly heated as they dragged the plate of deviled eggs back and forth. Neither of them wanted to back down. It was as if they'd lose something precious if they were to give in. Dustin felt a headache coming on as he watched them duke it out. Honestly, he didn't think he was worthy of their affection. At the entrance to the guest bedroom, Caitlin stuck her head out to peek at the commotion. She asked in confusion, "Max, what do you think Ms. Harmon and Ms. Nicholson are doing? Do they need to act like this over some eggs?" "Caitlin, you're too young to understand the intricacies of a relationship between a man and a woman," Maximus mysteriously said as he stroked his chin. "They're not fighting over the eggs, but their dignity as women." "Dignity?" Caitlin still didn't get it. "Dustin personally cooked those eggs. Whoever gets to taste them first wins this round." Maximus looked in awe. As expected, he's truly admirable. Beautiful women surround him, yet he remains unaffected by them. Look, they're about to get into a brawl, but Dustin still looks so calm and collected. He truly is someone to look up to. Dustin, with his sharp senses, heard this. He turned around to glare at Maximus and Caitlin. The two heads immediately shot back into the room. A few seconds later, they sneaked out again. Dustin, you decide. Who do these eggs belong to? After an inconclusive argument, Natasha and Dahlia turned to look at Dustin. They looked like they wouldn't give up until they had the answer they wanted. Faced with the toughest question he'd ever been asked, Dustin's lips twitched, sweat beaded on his forehead. These are my eggs," he blurted out. He grabbed the plate and scooped all the eggs into his mouth. With nothing left to fight over, the crisis had been averted. "Humph!" The two women glared at each other before turning away in opposite directions, still refusing to give in to each other.